Right guys, as you may know, recently I got myself a new knife. I got myself a Huntsman Phase 1 Doppler. I think it looks fantastic. I also need better lighting to show it off. There we go. Some better lighting to try and show it off. I think this looks great, okay? I've always been a big fan of the Doppler knives. I really like Phase 1 and Phase 2 in CS2. But now the big question comes. What gloves do I pair them with? You can see here, I've got default gloves on. I've not bothered to buy anything yet. Honestly, the T-side default gloves are fine. My issue comes with the CTs. Now, I picked out 7 options here that I'm going to showcase today, and I want your feedback in the comments down below, and also in the Discord skin section, where we can actively have an open conversation with everyone about what you think the best combo is going to be. Now, I have like 7 combos, like I say, ranging a little bit in budget, and let's go through them out and just see what the best option is going to be. And as always, guys, please hit the like button if you enjoy it, hit the subscribe button if you're into here, and let's get into it. Now, the first option we're actually going to be discussing 3 different conditions for, and this is the only one that has more than one condition option. And it's going to be the Snow Leopards. And now the first condition option is going to be in Battle Scarred, which I put like the range here. Battle Scarred to field test it, anywhere between 264 to 425. So it's a big upgrade. My thing here is the top of these Snow Leopards don't get a crazy amount of wear in Battle Scarred. Like, let's be real. Like, you can look at them here. Yes, some of the pattern starts to fade. Yes, there's some wear on the knuckles, but because it's like the wear on the white, you don't see it too much. The main thing is the inside of the thumb. You can see, like, the cracks on the gloves when it inspects the knife. And then when you're holding the AK, honestly, it's not too bad. Like, I thought the inside of the gloves changed color a bit more than they do. But this looks pretty damn clean in Battle Scarred. Well worn, honestly, very, very little difference. I can't remember the price of it. Obviously, it's between the 264 and 425. We're probably going to be talking like 350 or 320, something like that for the well worns. And then this is the field tester, which obviously would be the most expensive of the bunch at just over the 400 mark. Now, I think overall you can see definitely the inside of the hand. The condition changes a decent amount. Overall, the color as well isn't like as warm, but I don't think it's as like a crazy difference, like being honest. So first thing, obviously with 6 more to compare, but first of all, for Snow Leopards, like Battle Scarred would be okay, right? Like I don't think the overpay for field test it for Snow Leopard is actually worth it in the grand scheme. I don't think so anyway. You guys can tell me if I'm wrong about that in the comments. The second option is going to be Sports Gloves Nox. Now, I think these, if the black had more pattern, would be one of the best gloves in the game, without a doubt. Obviously, it is meant to be, I believe, a leopard pattern on it, and you can kind of see, depending on the pattern you get, a little bit coming through. This is a drastic upgrade compared to the CT gloves, but I don't think it's too big an upgrade from the T gloves, and that's where I would then lean towards. Like, these may be field tested, but I think the Battle Scarred Snow Leopards, for example, might be better than these. Then we have the Imperial Blades, which honestly work so damn nicely with this. The only issue I get into when we start looking at the Imperial Blades is that they will clash with some of the rest of my inventory, which we'll take a look at the end. We'll sort of compare my current inventory and its situation, and then obviously that can play a factor in which gloves would be best. But these in field test, this is a 0.25 float. They're currently priced at around 286 for field test, but they do pair super nicely with the knife. Even like the shades of the purple on the inside actually kind of work really nice, specifically with a Phase 1. Another neutral option is then going to be the black tie, like the driver gloves. This would have been field test, it would have been 248. And honestly, looking at them now in game, I haven't looked at them in game since they fixed them, and I can already tell you, this one isn't going to be a consideration. I'm going to keep it in the video, because it was a consideration when I planned it, but this, like, already, the Snow Leopard and all conditions, the Nox, and the Imperial Blades, knocked the black tie out of the water, I think. Like, they'll look nice with this Asimov, don't get me wrong, but I think the actual, like, how they look with the knife, not so much. The gloves I've never really considered before are the specialist gloves. I've always thought they wore a little bit too badly and sometimes were overpriced. However, when I saw the suggestion for fade gloves and in-field tested for 306, this is a 0.25 float, so this is the one thing. I don't know if 0.25 is going to have a massive overpay compared to the 306 we're getting, but this combination actually works quite nicely with the knife. Especially like the mix of colors you get, like on the padded bits. I'm just not sure if they're better than any of the first 3 we've shown. Now, going very left field and throwing like combo completely out of like every sort of discussion. Field tested caution gloves. These are a pair of gloves I've always been interested in getting. And to be honest, I fully appreciate that they don't like pair perfectly with the Doppler. But they still look insane as general gloves. And they don't clash too badly. These, very similar to the black tie, I think, are going to be in that consideration of nice combo, but still, Snow Leopard, Nox, and Imperial Blade, for me, I'm thinking as we go through this is, you guys are going to help contribute to what we pick, but as we inspect them in game for the first time together, the last three, maybe not the strongest options. And then the final pair, which is the super budget option, is going to be the Unhinged. Now, these are in minimal wear, and they're $96, so they're under 100, which is great. They're like basically the best budget pair of gloves you can buy in CS. Min wear compared to Field Tester, I think actually looks really good. They are black and silver, pretty much. And, I mean, yeah, they allow the knife to stand out. They complement it. They don't clash with other skins. My only thing is, I'm not a big fan of, like, the scaly texture on them in the bit that's not the darkest color. And you see that a lot when you use pistols, and you see the inside of them when you inspect the AK, for example. With the knife, these are good. I'd say these are definitely above Black Tie, Fear, and Caution in the consideration. Now, that's all 7, so just to recap through. Driver Gloves Snow Leopard, Sports Gloves Nox, Driver Gloves Imperial Blade, Driver Gloves Black Tie, Specialist Gloves Fade, Hand Wraps Caution, and Broken Fang Unhinged Gloves. I would have prices on screen throughout, but now the other thing that we need to take into consideration, like we say, is my actual CS2 loadout. Now, we're not going to inspect everything, but we're just going to run through. So, like, CT side, first of all, there's Black Lotus and Ancient Visions, and a P2000 Acid Edge. I'm currently using the Ancient Visions. I think it looks super cool. It's super nice. That's what we need to keep in consideration. The Dual Berettas, I currently use Royal Consorts, but could change to anything else, really. P250 is currently the Visions and Stat Track. Again, this is one I'd be open to changing, but I do quite like the Visions. Deagle is Print Stream, Desert Eagle in Field Tested. I can change the stickers to whatever. I've thrown random stuff on at the minute. I'm definitely going to keep this now, I think. And then 5.7, for the longest time, I was using a boost protocol, but you can see I got a Hotshot 5.7 with a Nico Gold on it and some other golds. Not the best skin, to be honest. So that's what I've been using for 5.7. The Mag 7s, we have a mix of like Copper Coated Monster Calls, XM, there's ranging between Elegant Vines to Ziggies to Seasons. I've recently picked up a Mount Fuji MP9, which is where I think the Snow Leopard or the Imperial Blades or the Nox. This is why them, for me, are the three that I think I'm properly considering, because they're going to fit in with most of the themes, but you'll see where, like, example, Imperial Blades, as again shot, would not work with the Oxide Oasis. Like, they just wouldn't, and that's where the Nox or the Snow Leopard would be better. MP7 is a Cirrus. We have a mix of the Duality, which I think is still super clean, and then we also have an Aetheris. This, again, is where Nox or Snow Leopard, I think, would be better for keeping that sort of neutral theme. We have a Carved Jade AUG, and the AUG's a meta, and I'm using this. Imperial Gloves, like Imperial Blade Gloves, the purple would definitely clash with this. However, anything would work, I think, with the In Living Color, because it's such a mix of colors. Long-term A1S is this 1-of-1 leather glass combination, which is the 100 blue. So you can see there's a real mix here. We're not going for like a perfect themed inventory. Recently got a Hyper Beast in Field Tested. Like, I just picked up. I got it for under buff price, so I thought, why not? And then the Famous is always going to be the ZX Spectrum. Now on T side, obviously, we've looked at some of these already. You've seen the Glock in game. It's currently the pink DD-Pat. I do have a couple of other options, though. Like, we've got a Winterized, an Umbra Rabbit, and a Warhawk. All super cheap options I just like to change between. Only real change here, pistol-wise, is the Tech 9. I'm currently using the Tech 9 Mummy's Rot with some Sphinx hollows on it. Mac 10, there's like 3 options. First off, we have an Allure, which is what I currently have equipped. And then we also have a Field-Tested Neon Rider, the Stat Track. And then we also have this Urban DD-Pat with some nice stickers. CMXMs as before. P90 is currently Neo Queen, but I never buy that in game. And then MP5 and MP7 are the same. Up is the same. Scout, I currently have an Acid Fade, and I've got a really nice like float pattern on it, or a really nice pattern on it, sorry. And a decent float, to be fair, not 0.04. I mean, I'm a fan of this. SG is currently the Darkwing. I also have a Lush Ruins, which is a consideration. Gale, for the longest time, I used the Chromatic Aberration, and then I went for a Dusk Ruins recently with some nice stickers on it. I just like the souvenir golds, I'll be honest. And then the AK, we currently have 2 options. You see the Asimov that I've equipped, which I recently bought, so I'm using it. But my long-term AK has and will be the Empress in Minware with a Frozen Hollow, because it looks insane. Now, I know that's a few minutes of actually looking through skins, but I think this adds some nice context to like what we're discussing and what we should go for. So to round off, I think, obviously, the Unhinged that you just saw definitely as a budget neutral option are in there. Imperial Blades work great with the knife. This would require me to change some of the inventory, though, because these gloves would have definite clashes with some items. So we'd have to consider some changes. And if I do go for this, obviously you guys can see the skins that really change. Give me some suggestions there. If you want the Imperial blades to be picked, hit me up in Discord or the comments down below and let me know what you think should be like shifted to instead, like what purple skins I should go for. Obviously Nox gloves, these are very neutral, so you can kind of rock with these for anything and don't have to change much of the inventory. And then the same for the snow leopards. Even if I went for battle scarred, these look super good. So I think, yeah, that is all the options. You guys have seen the inventory. We've got the new knife, time for the gloves, and I want your help with it. So, bit of a different video compared to usual, but you guys have liked the previous videos where I talk about my inventory, what we're working towards, and stuff like that. So I thought it'd be good to do that and include you guys in this decision-making process, because you are supporting the content, and that's why we can get these sort of cool skins. So, thank you very much for all the support, guys. Please give me some feedback in the comments down below. It'd be greatly appreciated. And let's have this conversation in Discord too. Made the video a bit longer than I planned to, so I'll end it off here. Hit that like button if you enjoyed it. Hit the subscribe button if you're new here. We'll catch you in the next one. Thank you for watching. Goodbye.